Good morning. I'm Chet Kincaid with That Grape Juice. How are you all this morning?
Hi, Chet. Doing good. How are
Great, thank
you?
you.
I'm well. So first I have to say congratulations on this movie. I really enjoyed this, really enjoyed this. So Encanto is about family, about the madrigals, but it's also about the music. And as someone who does not speak Spanish, I love the music still because of the melodies. So Lin-Manuel, with there being so many characters, the Madrigal family having so many people in there, how did you approach the musical element for each character?
Well, you put your finger on exactly what was the most exciting thing for me, which was we have all these characters. And that's a level of complexity that I've never really approached in terms of an animated film. And we really wanted to put our arms around that. Like, let's get this entire family and all the complicated relationships that come with aunties and cousins and abuelas up on screen. And so the first challenge was the first song I wrote for the movie, The Family Madrigal. I wrote that before we even knew how the movie ended, before we had acts 2 or 3, because it was like, we're not going to enjoy this unless we understand how everyone's related to each other and what they can do. And so I was really inspired by Beauty and the Beast. I think that's the most perfect opening number of a musical number ever. By the time Belle is done, you know Belle, you know everyone in the town, Marie, the baguettes, hurry up. You know Gaston, and you know the lady who needs 6 eggs, and you know how they all feel about each other. And so establishing that really clearly was important. And then that big song in the middle, we don't talk about Bruno. To have a gossip number is so important, because we all know there's things we can talk about at the family dinner, and then there's the thing you talk about in the kitchen later when the whole family is not there. And so leaning into that as a way of hearing more characters and the relationships and voices was really a way of getting that complexity on screen.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely nailed it. So again, Encanto is about family, and Stephanie and Diane, you play sisters, Mirabel and Isabel Madrigal. The dynamic had so many hilarious moments, but also a lot of heartwarming moments that made me cry a little. So going into these roles, how important was sisterhood and supporting your family to each of you, and also the connection to Colombia?
I have a little sister, and I identify a lot with the relationship between Isabella and Mirabel, mostly because I think oftentimes in our society and culture, women can sort of feel a pressure to A, be perfect, and B, compare themselves to other women. So on top of that, you've got the sister relationship where, like, the person, for Mirabel, one of the people that she looks up to in the world is Isabella. And because she feels like Isabella doesn't like her and she doesn't feel like she understands Isabella, and she doesn't feel seen or understood by Isabella, it's this like super intense tension between the two of them that, ultimately stems from their desire to love and be loved by each other. For Mirabel, she feels very invisible and often compared to Isabella. And I don't want to speak for Diane, but I think for Isabella, it's this like, how can you even bother with your little sister if you've got all this pressure of perfection around you and all these like expectations from your family? It's like anything your little sister does is just like, just get out of the way. I can't focus on you right now. I have to think about all this, so like, I think it's done really well in the film. I identify a lot with it, even though I am an older sister. I identify a lot with Mirabel's feeling of like, sort of like, I don't know how to be, I think a lot of sibling relationships are like that.
I just want to say congratulations to you all. I just love the movie, like, completely. It's great. It's another classic, and it's an instant classic to me. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and have an amazing, fantastic week.
Thank you.
Take care.